Hi, I'm Paul from Mega65, and you're listening to the Scene World podcast.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. It's Scene World. I'm AJ. Joerg is over there,
here
across the desk.
Hi.
It's a nice beard you're cultivating.
Yeah. Gotta shave it.
What? You should just, keep rocking it.
No. No. Not my thing.
In a minute, we're going to be talking to Senad Palic, our good friend, who will be talking to us about RetroKram and his Retrobourse flea market. I don't want to say flea market because that sounds crappy, but
I know, that's why it's called Retrobourse.
Yeah. So we'll be talking to him in a minute. Before that, we do have some news. First, I guess we can start by talking about us. You're going to be, by the time that anyone hears this, you're going to be in Gamescom.
So yes, I will be at Gamescom together with Arthur Van Dam and Martin Ahmad, who is our music guy, and the other Martin, which is called Notepond, who's our graphic guy for pixel stuff.
Yes.
And he will do the decoration of our booth this year.
Nice.
So it should be nice and pixelated.
The guy is an awesome graphics guy, not just on the 64. I mean, he came from
the NES originally.
Oh, it was the NES? Okay.
Yep. So visit us at Gamescom in the Family and Friends area, which is Hall 10, floor 2. So 10.2, and like half of the hall is retro. And we will be on the opposite side of Hans High Score because they have a stage this year, and we are on the counter side. So visit us there, have a chat, take a flyer, get some photos, autograms, whatever. Well, we don't have an autograph hour, but you never know.
The first time that someone asked me for an autograph, I'm just going to run screaming into the woods and never come back out.
Well, now we are pretty known.
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel. So That's a biggins.
That's great. Thanks a lot, guys.
And Joerg was on the Retro Hour podcast with Dan Wood.
Exactly, yes.
Podcast. It was episode 82, and you got to talk about the C64 and Scene World's place in it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even know that it was like the biggest retro podcast.
Aside from us anyway, I mean.
Yes. He's mainly doing Amiga stuff, so he was very interested about talking to me on the Commodore 64 development, Scene World, our staff, and mentioning most of the staff and all that kind of stuff, and how everything works. And I told stories like back in the day, Andrew and I would send discs to each other, and I would call to his parents' phone and to talk to him.
God,
yeah. That was before everybody had internet,
Yeah. I remember I worked on a disc mag, not Scene World, but how we would do that, I would write the text. We had our own custom editor for writing the text. And then when it was time to submit the text, one of the guys would call me up, and we would do like he'd call me, and then I would do like the ATA, and he would turn his modem on, and we would connect like through the modem on our 64s, and we would transfer the files that way. Like, it's so, you think of the weird things you used to do to have to get this stuff done back then, before there was such a thing as, before the internet was as ubiquitous as it is now, because now everyone has email, everyone can send a file without even thinking about it.
Yes, back in the early 2000s, people in UK, they usually had internet over the television sets.
Really?
And yes, and then you would only have like 3 lines of email text, and then you would have to use your remote control, putting the text together by on-screen keyboard, OSD display, And if you wanted to type more, you would have to buy a keyboard to attach it to your TV. And but of course you couldn't send attachment with it, so he would send it on disk, and 5 days later we would have the scene world. And then if something is wrong, I would call him over the phone, and he would tell me what to punch in the monitor, or what file to copy over, or change the file name to make it work, to make a quick fix.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't send it again and have a 5 days delay because of the postal service. So
it makes me think too of the things that we used to do back then. That I just recently was reading a post, and it made me think back to they were talking about discs and if the HD discs will work as DSDD discs, and it jogged my memory back to when I had a 1581. Discs were fairly expensive, and so what I realized was that
drill a hole in it, and then it would work.
Well, AOL, before they sent CDs, the AOL CD is kind of like the humor meme thing about AOL. Everyone got an AOL CD.
Yes, even in Germany. Yeah,
but before that, they would send floppies. They'd send 3.5-inch floppies. And I figured out at some point that if you call up AOL and you say, "Hey, can I get AOL on a floppy?" they'll send you one for free. No questions asked. So I must have called AOL probably 50 or 60 times and had them send me discs for free, which I just formatted and used as free discs.
And was that SD, DD discs?
They were HD discs. They were HD.
Yeah, but the difference between the DD and the HD is the DD has a hole in it, so that the drive would detect it. So you would have to drill a hole in the HD disk to make the computer recognize it.
No, I think it's the other way around. The HD has the hole in it.
Now let's see, because I have them. You're right. Okay, but the problem is the data there wouldn't stay on it for long, because the magnetic material is different.
I just actually a couple of months ago I went and found all my old discs, and I tried to see if I could get everything off them, and all of my old HD 1581 formatted discs still worked perfectly.
Well, then you are lucky.
Yeah, way better than, and I had probably like 50 or 60 that I ordered from AOL for free.
Well, then you got lucky, because normally it doesn't work.
I wonder if they would still do that. I wonder if we called AOL and said, "Hey, can you send me a floppy disk of AOL?"
No, of course not.
Because they still have they still have that service. Like, you can still get dial-up service through AOL.
Not in Germany anymore.
Well, I'm fortunately a grown-up now, and I can go and buy old stock of DSDD discs when I need them. So,
right, now you have your own money.
This is the weirdest, longest intro to any of the podcasts that we've done, because we haven't even touched any news yet.
Well, you picked up the topic.
Okay, so news then. Let's get to what we're actually doing here. Okay.
Well, Sonic Mania got released.
Who?
Unfortunately, it's delayed for PC, so couldn't be able to actually play it. What? Sonic Mania is the first Sonic from Sega that is a classic Sonic since, 30 years?
Okay.
No, more like 25 years. So that's Sonic Mania.
Nice.
The big thing of Sega this year to actually challenge Nintendo.
I thought wasn't Nintendo doing Sonic for a while? I feel like Sonic wasn't a Nintendo game.
No.
I really feel like that happened.
No. Oh my God. Andrew would hit you with a stick. No,
was I just hallucinating with that? I was almost certain.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no.
Really?
No way. No way. No way. That's like that's like mixing Star Trek with Star Wars. Nintendo didn't do Sonic. The only thing that happened was the Super Mario Olympics for Nintendo Wii had Sonic as a character, but Nintendo never did Sonic.
But Sonic was released for Nintendo machines.
Nope.
Yes.
That neither.
Yes, it was.
Nope. So
2002. Sonic Adventure 2 was released on the GameCube.
Man.
Sonic Advance went to Game Boy Advance.
No, man. We are talking about the classic Sonic. The classic Sonic was neither released on the Game Boy nor
not the original, but there were Sonic games that were.
That's a classic Sonic game. That's what I'm talking about. Sonic game.
Okay.
None of the adventure, racer, Olympic games.
All right.
Don't mix that up.
Well, Sonic is.
There were hacks of Sonic for NES games, but that wasn't an official release.
Okay. I got one here. This is an interesting sort of thing. In early August, a couple of weeks ago, someone posted on a Commodore Facebook group a link to the Commodore smartphone site, which...
The Leo?
Yes, which, of course, led to a bunch of people criticizing it and talking about how, it's not really Commodore and they're just cashing in on the name and everything. But then, surprisingly, out of nowhere, Massimo kind of showed up.
Whoa!
And he posted the following in this thread. Thank you, I respect all your opinions. Only 2 years have passed. Our third device will come out as soon as possible, and hopefully will change your mind. We are working 24/7 to improve ourselves, and I swear to you it's tough. We are no more in the 70s. So,
oh God, big words.
There's two things there, is that he has hinted at there being a third entry in the Commodore lineup. So that's kind of a big thing. I'd like to know what that is. And the other thing is that I feel like people took our video review of the Pet as an indication that I didn't like the phone.
That's what I'm telling you all the time.
Right.
That's what I'm telling you all the time.
Here's the thing, right? I haven't had a chance to look at a Leo. But as far as the Pet is concerned, I thought it was a decent enough phone. It was just a little expensive for what it was. But again, when Commodore existed as a company, they liked to rebrand things. So if you're one of these guys that's posting on here that's saying, oh, it's totally un-Commodore to have a smartphone or to use a brand and just put your name on it. No, that is exactly what Commodore would be doing.
Like IBM PCs?
Right. I mean, this is exactly the business model that Commodore would be following if they were here, except that I think that they would have a much better price point for it. I haven't seen the Leo, so I can't make an opinion on that, but I'm all for giving people a chance and seeing what they can do. And
they have been nice to us.
Yeah, and they're not hurting anybody. It's not like they're devaluing the brand, because the brand doesn't have any value. I mean, they're trying to do what they. I didn't get the sense that they were trying to just shill money from people. They were doing something that they believed in. So let's see what they've got next.
Yeah, well, thanks for putting us straight.
Yeah. We also have the website retrocomputingnews.com is shutting down. The editor.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. Stuart Williams, the editor and publisher of the site, has cited personal health issues and commitments to taking care of his elderly mother and some stuff as the reason why it'll stop being updated. And this isn't to say it's going to go down completely. It's just not being updated anymore. So it'll just sort of exist as an archive of sorts. And that's at retrocomputingnews.com.
Yes. On the other hand, we still have our own news portal for the C64 TV. And if you click on the upper right-hand submit news, you can submit news to us, and it will automatically spread across Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook once we have confirmed your news entry. Mm-hmm. And also from that thing, the former C64 composer Andrew Wright, who is actually also a movie maker and director, actually announced that there is a new series featuring music of 8-bit musicians like Matt Gray, Rob Hubbard, Martin Galway, and many more. So you can find more about that on the website, and you can actually find all the series episodes on YouTube free to watch. So it's pretty awesome.
Okay.
And it's called belashitoilet.com.
Say that again.
belashitoilet.com.
Oh, Belushi toilet.
It's Belushi?
Belushi, yeah, like the great actor John Belushi. Belushi's toilet.
So I pronounced it incorrectly, sorry.
He was a great comedian from Saturday Night Live and some other thing. In fact, he was supposed to be the in Ghostbusters. The character of Peter Venkman, who ended up being Bill Murray, was originally written for John Belushi.
Okay.
But then he passed away, and so Slimer is John Belushi.
Interesting.
Trivia. I think we talked about this when we had Lily and Sven on.
Yeah. Speaking about Sven announced the Retro Hunters back.
Yes.
On Twitter the other day.
I didn't know it was gone.
He never officially closed it. He just went to cosplay instead.
Oh, okay.
So now he's back on the Retro Hunter.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Here's one. The 64. They've got prototypes. They've posted some pictures on their Facebook page of the prototype version, not the handheld version. It's the actual machine itself. And there's an image of the main board, which is currently being tested, and they're building up stock for deliveries.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say they also announced a bunch of new games that'll be coming along with it, which is like Cybernoid and Cybernoid 2, Iridium, Nebulous, or Tower Toppler in the U.S., a bunch of others. And it actually looks really good. It's little, it's small, and I don't know the logistics of how typing on it is going to work because the keys on an actual C64 are kind of small for my meat chop hands. So having a tiny little thing like that, it should be interesting to see. But it looks really nice.
Actually, I've heard from some people from the internal updates from the Kickstarter, from the Indiegogo, that actually the handheld version is not coming to be.
Oh, really?
And that's really sad because that's the one I would have bought.
Really? I'm not sold on the handheld version of games because, I guess if you've got, a game that you can rig up, change a little bit so that all you need is the joystick, that's okay. But, if I've got a C64, I want to use it for what it was, like an actual computer. I want a physical keyboard, and I want to be able to do all that stuff. And the handheld is just meh. Yeah,
anyway, let's see what's happening with that.
I would get a better experience using like a laptop with an emulator on it because then you get your keyboard and you get full functionality and you can take it places with you, and you don't look like a dweeb.
Oh, and the pre-order started for the C64 Reloaded.
Yes, I love it.
So it's the first time you're getting one.
Oh, I'm not getting one, no.
Why not?
Because I have a C64 that doesn't need a board.
Okay.
Plus, I've got like the SID-FX in mine, and I think the Reloaded board has spots for two SIDs, so this would kind of cancel out all the fine work I've done to my 64.
But from what I heard, if you put in a second SID in the C64 Reloaded Mark II, he doesn't really guarantee that it's still 100% compatible to games and stuff.
I really like the SID-FX as far as what it does, because it kind of takes the heavy lifting out of the 64. Like it's got its own configuration, so it passes the audio through all by itself. So the 64 just thinks there's one SID, whatever, you're good, and you can just change all your different settings and do whatever you need to do with it. I don't know how the implementation on the 64 Reloaded is done, but I like
no idea. But I'm looking forward to my SID-FX once it's working.
Yes.
I hope it's really as good as people say.
It is. It's pretty awesome. And
Good to know.
I'll eventually have a video showing that.
You're telling me that in 3 months it will be coming soon.
I've been talking about this forever, and there's so much other stuff has taken priority, and I feel.
But the next 2 weeks I will not be at home, so that's your chance. Anyway,
we've been talking for way longer than we should have. Senad is probably growing a mustache over there. He's waiting so long for us. I think he's already got a beard, so the mustache is all there is to grow.
Okay, so enjoy listening to it.
All right. And we're here with Senad Palic from RetroKram and the Retrobourse. How are you? Welcome back to the podcast.
Oh yeah, hi, hello again. So we can when we start to play Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, everybody was listening to the interview I gave a few days ago.
Because Joerg lost it for you.
No, I'm not sure. I didn't
lose. Fingers.
Joerg lost, I think. Yeah, thanks. I'm fine. I'm really happy to be with you guys here on the internet at the Scene World podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Actually, the first time in the podcast. Wow.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Yes.
He's been on the podcast before.
No, not really.
Yes, for the foremost only, but now he is on the podcast for himself.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are doing something.
This could be a really short podcast.
Because you're
and that was
some...
Senad Palic. You can see him.
Bye.
Okay. Noob. Yeah. So you actually announced a few days ago you will be doing some kind of Retrobourse in Darmstadt, and you will call it the RetroKram flea market or something.
Yes. Because I don't want it to call it Retrobörse or Retrobourse. I never heard it in English before. Sorry. Because I like the guys from Retrobörse and I don't want to piss them off. So when you start something new, take a new name. And I don't want to be a flea market only for retro games or retro gaming. I want to make a retro flea market for everything what's retro. Like Laserdisc, CDs, PC games, VHS, Betamax. I don't know what the people want to sell. But I prefer video games, yes, but not only.
And we should specify for listeners that may not be aware, bourse, Bourse, is a market organized for the purpose of buying and selling commodities and other things.
Yes, thanks.
Care of Investopedia.
Yes, it's really a flea market in an old venue called Golden Crown in Darmstadt. It's a Rhine-Main area around Frankfurt. Yes, I had an opportunity to meet a guy who is a DJ at this venue, and how I met him. I think. Oh yes, he wrote an email to the Flipper and Arcade Museum Seligenstadt. You know, AJ, the famous Flipper and Arcade pinball museum.
I've heard of it.
Sometimes, yes. And he wrote an email because he was organizing a synthwave 80s party, and he would like to have an arcade room at the location, in the Goldene Krone. So he wrote an email, just a few sentences. Hello, I'm Stefan Fischer. I'm organizing a synthwave party. I like your museum. Can I rent some arcades? Okay. So I asked Ariane and Rainer, and they said, yeah, why not? So he came to visit the museum. We talked a little bit, and sure, he can have the arcades. And a few moments later, we talked about retro gaming and our hobbies and private stuff. And I mentioned that I like synthwave and 80s, and I love to organize something for me, something like a fair or something. And he mentioned, okay, you can have the venue for free. Let us do something together. So one weekend he make a Synthwave party. The other week, the weekend, 1 week later, yes, it's 1 week later, we make the retro flea market. So it's was very a quick idea, and I make the graphics for, and we were thinking a few minutes. What's the name of this thing? Retrobourse. Oh no, not Retrobourse. They would be pissed off and they don't like us anymore, and are invited to the original Retrobourse, who's very famous in Germany. And in whole Germany, they make the Retrobourse in a few towns like I don't know, Stuttgart, I think, Mannheim,
Munich,
Cologne, I think. I'm not sure where, but in whole Germany they make every 1, 2, 3 months is a Retrobourse.
I've heard before that it was actually a registered trademark even.
Yes.
So you cannot even name it the same.
I'm not sure. Maybe, but that's not the reason I didn't call it Retrobourse.
And it's not the reason why you started your own, because the one from the Mannheimer one said he will not do it anymore under this name.
It's not the reason, but I asked him. We talk about Roger. Roger was the organizer from the Retrobourse in Mannheim. I'm not sure why, but he didn't make the Retrobourse in Mannheim anymore, or under the claim Retrobourse. I think he will make something completely new under a new name. But I asked him because I know him very well, and I didn't want to make a flea market or something on this date when he's planning his new event. So
make it right across the street from him, you know.
Yes. Hello. But it was a quick idea between with Stefan Fischer and me. So we're planning the Retro Flea Market this year, and Roger are planning his retro whatever next year. So we didn't compete each others or something.
So can you talk about your new concept, or is that utterly secret?
It's not secret. It's like a flea market everywhere. It's a very nice venue. It's a very, very old house, Goldene Krone. I'm not sure, but I think this house is about. It's a hall in a hall in a hall. It's a very big house with much rooms, big rooms, and I think it's about 400 years old or 500 years old. I'm not really sure. But it has its history in Darmstadt, and everyone knows it. And this venue also are techno events, hard rock, metal events every weekend. There's a pub in it, so you can go drink a beer or a few beers more. And all the students in Darmstadt like it. So it's a very good venue. It's really in a city, so you can reach it really, really easy with a car or with a bus or train station or something. So yeah, and it will be like many rooms, many tables, many I don't know what, a few lamps. I hope. There will be a friend of mine who will make music with his Game Boy.
Terminal, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I hope there will be little events around the retro flea market, so the people will not only sell and buy stuff, so they can talk a little bit with each others and have a good time. That's it.
So it's not just a flea market. It's also like a social gathering and a networking thing where people can meet and discuss this stuff. And
yes. That was my first idea from an own event, but the Stefan Fischer had an idea with a retro flea market. So we tried to put both ideas together to make a completely new event. But it's not really big. I think we got about 40 tables. Around 20 are reserved. 20, we got only 20 left, and it's in September, I think. I don't know, 26th September. Yes, 26th September. So we had a few months to sell the last 20 tables, and I think it will be.
So you've already got a lot of engagement from people that will be selling there, that will be setting up tables and doing stuff. They requested
the tables. Yes. I got about 4, 5, 6 mails a day who are asking for this event, and they like to have further information. But I don't have further information. I got the venue. I can tell you when you can go in to build your table up or something, and when we close the doors. So that's it. It's not a concert. It's not that you have to prepare a very big PA or laser stuff or something. No, you got only tables. You got the entry door. The entry fee will be €3. Very cheap, about $3, I think. $1, €1. It's, I think,
somewhere around there.
Yeah. And you can have the table as a seller for €10. So I think it's cheap.
Yeah.
Also for the sellers. Yes.
Yeah. It's very cheap.
Yes, because the venue didn't cost us anything, because Stefan Fischer is a DJ at this venue and he got the Goldene Krone for free. So the only cost that we have is for printing stuff, so like the flyers or maybe merchandise or I don't know, maybe we need some markers or gaffer tape or something. Yeah, this flyer.
And it says in the background, a night into Synthwave Wife at 10 p.m. starting.
That's the week before.
And that's the week before. I see. Yeah.
Because
so you. I see.
I make the flyer. Yes, it's a little bit cheaper when you got 2 events and put both events on one flyer, because what else you can put on the backside of a flyer?
And you would share costs.
Yes. And if you look closely on the Synthwave flyer, is in the right corner, I think. It must.
RetroKram.
Not only RetroKram, there's the logo from
Flipper and Arcade Museum.
Yes, right. That's because we are there with the Arcades for the Arcade Room.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. So November 26th, and letting people in at 6 a.m. Okay.
It's 6 a.m.?
Sorry, 11 a.m.
Oh.
That's a big difference. I don't know how you misread that.
I just got stuck in the line of 26th November,
Maybe
I guess.
It's small or something.
No, just me and my eyes. Yes, so that is actually how. Interesting. So
yes, the only reason we planned it was because every one of my friends liked the Retrobörse, but the Retrobörse is always in a big town, hundreds of kilometers away. I can't remember that there was a Retrobörse in Frankfurt or near Frankfurt, except Mannheim. So why not Darmstadt? It's 20 kilometers, around 20, 25 kilometers from Frankfurt away. So all my friends and maybe Joerg.
Yes, I will try to go with Rocher. And if he doesn't have time for some reason, then I will take the train.
Yeah. How long did you will be on the train? From
1 hour?
1 hour from Mannheim to Darmstadt?
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes. You know, I mean, it's if I take the regional express, then it's Darmstadt, and the next stop is Frankfurt. So
Okay.
and the distance between Darmstadt and Frankfurt is just 10 minutes. So it's around 15 minutes.
Okay.
So
And
it's
AJ, how long
almost
will
an
your trip will take to Darmstadt?
Well, gotta fit the pontoons on the car so I can get across the ocean.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get him to Gamescom.
One of these
someday.
days. One of these days.
A few weeks. Yeah, AJ, come to the Gamescom.
I've got to
2
go to.
weeks.
I've got to go to a video game con. So I mean, that's covering my.
The Gamescom is a video game con.
Well, yes.
It's one of the biggest in the world. Yeah, blah blah, Senad, blah blah.
Gamescom is actually the biggest one.
It's the biggest?
Is the biggest
Since when?
since a couple of years.
Really?
Actually,
Oh, didn't know that. Cool. Nice. Big in Germany. Ah.
It's like Domino Day. Sort of such events, we have to be the biggest.
Yeah.
So let's talk about RetroKram a little bit, because you've been doing this for for about a year now, I guess, maybe a little
I'm
less.
not sure if it's a year, but a few months. Sure. I think 5, 6, 7. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Okay, let's say a year. Yes.
Okay. I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
AJ will take 2 months to edit this, and then
Then it'll be a year. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I make RetroKram for 2 years now.
I've been doing this for 30 years. So,
What do you want to know?
well, just generally, like what is it? How, what's the idea behind it? Just
The idea behind it was since I left Retrobla, it's like you left your girlfriend. It's like you had a big hole in yourself, and you try to make something new to you know what I mean. So I decided to make a YouTube channel called RetroKram, or the first retro what the fuck, because I like all the strange stuff about the retro gaming, strange controllers, strange games,
strange people.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm here. And but as usually when you got a plan and you wrote things on a paper and try to fulfill the plan, nothing happens. I had so much ideas for this channel, and I did nothing. So I just throw it away and I make nothing. That's the secret. I'm just visiting people, talking with people, go to events, make some videos, write on my blog, and I got not really a plan. Like I had it as I planned it, RetroKram. I want to make a web show every 2 weeks about all the things that happens in the 2 weeks in the retro scene, like a I don't know a news show about 5 or 10 minutes long, not too long because not everybody got the time. Oh God, I hate these videos from people who visited flea markets and now tell 40 minutes about what they buy on a retro flea market or on a market, and show some games in the cam and oh God, it's so boring. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Joerg. on which flea market did you buy the Super Mario 3, and how much did it cost?
€8, eBay.
Okay, now that's a flea market.
Yeah.
No, I really try to make things short because I didn't have the time. I love what I really love to do is to meet people, to talk with people, to learn something new, to connect people. I think that's the main reason I do RetroKram. It's more socializing.
And when you say you've done nothing with it, I mean, you do have videos up. I mean, they are released fairly regularly, and they're They're
yes,
quality videos. You know, they're not. It's not like, you know, half-assed stuff. It's good interviews and some interesting stuff. You know, bootleg Game Boy, you know, games and stuff. It's.
Oh, you understand German? Nice.
Not really. He's making it up.
Yeah, I have no.
Fishing for compliments.
I didn't know that. Oh, AJ, das ist ja toll. Dann kann ich ja ruhig weiter in Deutsch reden. Großartig.
No more bloody English.
Guten Tag.
That you learned from Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks. No, I'm working in a union called UFO. Yes, like the UFO. It's the union for flight attendants in Germany. Mm-hmm. And I'm worked there as a marketing assistant. Okay. So I make a lot of videos for their YouTube channel. And so I learned how to cut movies. And
I thought you knew it before.
Yes, I knew it before, yes. But when you do it for money, you can learn much more. Because when you do anything every day, you get better. Mm-hmm. So my videos for my own private channel gets better and better. So, yes. Yeah, I do.
It's like your English. If we talk to you every week, your English will improve.
Don't do it. Don't call every week. But no, I'm sorry. Yes, you can talk. You can call, but please no in English. It's.
AJ will be your new best friend.
Yeah, there we go. I'll call you every week.
Hello, AJ. I like you very much. So, no, I really love to cut videos and make short movies or short clips. It's really fun. I like it to cut it in music with the beat and so on. So I try to make it not so boring. But I know some movies are some clips are too long, even for me. I don't have the time to watch 10 minutes video from an event because it's everything's the same. Right. The Retrobourse, for example, it's every time the same. You got the tables, you got the sellers. Sometimes you get even the same sellers on other Retrobourse. It's the same seller, so he got the same stuff on his table. Except the stuff he sells. I think they're also the same people there because I met Joerg sometimes there or a couple of friends of mine or something. It's always the same people. Mm-hmm. So if you make a video from Retrobourse this year, for example, you can use the same video for next year. Yeah. So you got 1-2 minutes about the stuff that people are selling. Then you talk a little bit with the people, and you got an outro and tell the people who watch your video, hey, was really nice there. I buy some stuff here. Look at it. Buy. Yeah. So you can make every time the same video, and I think it's boring because there's much more. I love the stories like you guys do it. You talk with the people. You let the people talk. Some of your I didn't to be honest I didn't watch or hear anything of your any of your interviews, but a few. Yeah, when you got a interesting story, the people will listen.
Yeah, that's actually true. When we did the Ron Gilbert interview, a lot of people were complimenting AJ for pointing out that he coined the word cutscene. So a lot of people told us, like, I learned something today thanks to your interview with Ron Gilbert.
I did not know that.
Well, now you know.
Put that in my pocket there.
Yeah, that's a thing that Ron Gilbert invented. Mm-hmm. He coined the word.
Okay, I didn't know that. Nice.
Now you do.
Oh yeah. So when you watch the videos from my visit at the Retrobourse Mannheim, so what I didn't know that was where to start. We got a package of old magazines from a guy, I don't remember his name. he gave the museum a few very old video game magazines from 1983, 4, 5, around that. And I love that. I love these magazines. So I read it and look at some pictures and read about the German Pac-Man, about the German Pac-Man championships or something like that. And reader name was Klaus Wolf. And I remember I know one guy who's with the name Klaus Wolf. He's a professional seller for retro games. And he was on the Retrobourse in Mannheim. So I asked him, maybe, hey, I read about Pac-Man or Centipede. Oh, it was Centipede. I'm sorry. Centipede and Donkey Kong. It was Centipede. I read about one guy who was the first German champion for Centipede in 1983. His name was Klaus Wolf. And it was me. And I didn't know that. I met him a few times. I buy some stuff from him and talked a little bit, but I never knew this story. It was like, whoa, now wait a minute, I just get my camera and now please tell me the story. But please do it short.
Nice. That reminds me of our last guest in the podcast, Saul Cross. We were interviewing him because he's doing graphics and musics for GCD games, and then suddenly he comes up, like back in the day I was a C64 game designer, and I worked in the same building. Yeah, I worked in the same building like Rob Hubbard, and I've heard Sing on a Spring 3 months before it was released. And nobody knew that, even not Andrew. Andrew knows everything about computer games and stuff. But then he was like, oh my God. So now, after this podcast, would you like to make an interview with me for a retro, for the Retro UK magazine, So like, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can totally relate to that. I can totally relate to that experience. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes people forget about their stories and about the history. So you ask them, and then, yes. Yeah, now I remember. Now I will tell you my story. Yes.
Is it the same guy that does this store called Wolfsoft?
Yes, it is his store. Yes, from Neuwied.
Okay. Nice. So I know who you are
Klaus Wolf.
about.
Yes, it's Klaus Wolf from Wolfsoft. Yes. It's awesome. He spent his whole life in video gaming. He was German. He was a German champion for. I'm really not sure if it was Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or Centipede, but one of these famous games, 1983, and it was funny because he told. Joerg can see the video and he can translate it to you in English. But he told me how it was when he was, I think he was 15 or 16, when he go to Hamburg, about 500 kilometers to the finals, and Atari they booked the whole hotel for retro gaming. Not retro gaming, for games, for actual games.
So I looked it up. Interview with Klaus Wolf, the junior champion in Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, okay.
Bei Videospielgeschichten.
Yes. He competed.
It was Pac-Man. Yeah.
Yes, but he was also competing in another game. He was Centipede, I think. He was on 2 championships.
Centipede 2, yes. And yes, so he was competing in Pac-Man and Centipede.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And you read it from where? From Videospielgeschichten?
Yeah.
Hallo André.
Yeah. And he interviewed him in 2013.
Yeah.
In October.
But it's long before I noticed that Videospielgeschichten even exist.
Well, actually, no. Actually, it's quoting an interview from 2003.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the facts right. I like to learn stuff. Yeah. And he is quoting an interview actually that was published in February 1984.
Yes, in the Telematch magazine. We got this magazine in the museum. That's where I read it, and so I put it on my blog with screenshots. So
there's
that's
a picture of the young Klaus.
Yes, I like this magazine, and a few weeks before I read a listing from a young guy. He was 14 years old who program a game for the Atari 800 XL. He was 14 years old, and I was wondering, what he's doing now, 30 years later. So I Google after him, Google his name. I didn't find anything. Then I read he got a new name now, and the funny thing is he came from near Frankfurt. So I wrote him. So hey, hi, I found you in an old magazine. Are that your listings? Yes, there are. It's my program. It's my game. Can I interview for my blog? Yes, for sure. So I asked him just a few questions. And the funny thing is, he's still in the video game scene, and he's programming games and wrote books. I love those old magazines and to find things what the people are doing now. And that's one thing I try to make with RetroKram. So I'm sure. Sorry. So if you know something about, wait a minute. AJ, do you know the German magazine CPU?
I've heard of it. Yes.
So where's the family chat here? Okay, I that's the thing. I really try to make it happen. I'm searching for those famous couple who were on the front cover from the CPU magazine, this Computer programmiert zur Unterhaltung.
I know that cover. The mustache is glorious.
Everyone knows this cover, and I try to contact those couple. I just want to know who made this picture and why.
And are they still alive?
And are they still alive? Yes. It's also from 83 or 84. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Wait. It's from November 83. Yes.
Actually, this woman looks pretty weird in a way.
Weird?
Yeah.
I love the mustache.
Yeah. The guy's mustache is glorious.
And the gold chain.
Yeah.
It looks really 80s, like Magnum or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a straight 80s. It's amazing.
Yo, baby, let me show you my C64.
And oddly enough, it's actually the C64 is actually plugged in. It's got a plug coming out of the back for, I guess that's the video.
I think it's video. Yes.
Yeah, so they're not just touching like a dead machine in front of them like usually they show.
Yes, they even connected it. Amazing.
Yeah. So I got this magazine. I to be honest, I really searched for it, and I paid I think €7 on eBay for it. And I read it. It's very boring. It's some listings and it's nothing special. But the cover is awesome. I love it. I really love it, and I just read the index to see if there's any contact or names or something from the photographer or something. No,
really,
it isn't. No.
Wow. Every time I see a magazine, it's it always says somewhere this month's cover, and it always says it's this and this by whoever. That's odd that it wouldn't have them.
Maybe 83 it wasn't, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Or in Germany, maybe. I don't know.
Germans are special.
They're really special. So that's the thing I got interest in. I don't want to be a retro detective or something, but there's some private question I've got. So.
Yeah, I mean, I totally like to make longer interviews, and I also think it's interesting to get the stories of the people that weren't interviewed before, So I can totally understand that.
Well, that's kind of one of the reasons that we've done this is like there's you see interviews with people or you see videos about things, and there's always they cover the same thing. How did you get into the computers? How did this happen? How did that happen?
Yes.
There's stupid questions that I have that no one ever asks because why would you? But it's things that I wonder, and it's like I want to know. Why this person, what was the logic behind their decision to do this? Or like what the hell is with this magazine cover? Stuff like that just makes you want to go and do it yourself because you can bypass all the stuff that everyone else has done and just focus on what you want to know.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like we interviewed Juan Gilbert, and then at some point he said, "You are the first one inquiring me about Freddy Fish." Nobody ever talked to him about his education software.
Yes.
Education games, edutainment games. I think is the phrase and the name. Mm-hmm. He said to AJ, "Nobody ever asked me about that. It's funny that you even know about it." And then AJ was starting with, "Yes, it was delivered with my Mac." And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. It's probably the first Ron Gilbert game I ever played, and I didn't even know it.
Oh, okay.
So that's exactly the thing. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an interesting parts because it's like when I open sometimes YouTube or the browser and type in YouTube and YouTube just show me some videos that may have been interesting for me, and it's always some let's plays. And it's always the same games.
Yeah.
It's like you watch 10,000 times Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers or Mario Kart or I don't know. So why would I do that? Why would I do let's plays from games that everyone's playing?
Right.
Nah, not really. And that's the reason I like to be in the Twitch streams from Amiga Bill from the Guru Meditation. Because he's playing the games that I would like, strange games. And
Aladdin 3 from the Dandy.
Oh, God.
Your Dandy games, yes.
Yeah.
And it was a game called Dugu Rex or something for Steam. And it was so, I don't know. It wasn't. It was like Flashback or Another World, with few very interesting ideas with monsters and in games. I don't know. You have to play it. It's really strange, but really really interesting and funny. So also really funny to watch. I watched Amiga Bill played, I think, 2 hours this game, and he's discovering everything new every time something new, and it was really what? Why did fly? Why did head fell off? And why are there monsters who's playing guitars and something? I don't know. It was really every time. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And there we go again. Retro.whatthefuck.
Yeah, I really love the URL. It's the only URL with retro I can't afford. The what the fuck. Sorry, the WTF domains are not really cheap, but cheaper than retro.uk. I don't know what's the URL code for United Kingdom.
COUK?
COUK, I'm sorry, yes. Retro.co.uk, I think about $500 a year.
Yeesh.
Yes. It fits to me. It's perfect. And I really love my email address, hi@retro.wtf. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And I did it before. I just typed in retro and just want to watch to see what happens. And every funny, good URL was taken except WTF.
Well,
I don't know why.
Still available are retro.casino for $202 euros per year, or retro LGBT for 50 euros per year.
LGBT is not so retro.
Well, I just selected adult.
Oh, retro.adult. That's nice. How much?
No, I mean I just chosen. I've just chosen category adult, and then you get all the adult. Like retro.xxx and stuff.
It's free. And how much?
No, it's not free, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's where you get That's where you get the really good laser discs.
Yeah, I liked when I did the interview with Stuart Chaffee from Computer Chronicles, and then suddenly he was like, VHS won because of porn, and then suddenly I spoke with him about porn. I go, oh my God, you are talking with a 75 years old man about porn.
But he's still a man, so
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't matter how old are you. Porn is porn.
Yeah.
Remind me of that in 40 years.
I will.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm not sure, but
Call
I
him
think
up out
I'm
of the blue. Hey, Joerg. Porn is porn. And then just hang up.
Joerg, did I tell you that maybe I'm the first guest in your show with an what's I don't know. Do you know it exists an internet porn movie database?
No, never heard of that.
I think it's still available, but a few months ago it was down. It's like the movie database for erotic movies, and I was in there as an actor.
Really?
Okay, didn't know that. Okay,
Didn't know that? Really?
I didn't even know there's a database for that kind of movies. But okay.
Now you know it. Yes, and it's a really funny story because a friend of mine worked for Goldflag Productions. They were buying movies, rebrand it. They buy white label porn. So make a new DVD case, give them a new title, intro, outro, print the label, and sell it. And one day he just called me and said, and he called me and just asked me if I can do him a favor to invent some new porn titles. So, okay, I try. And I wrote some stupid ideas in German, and sent it to him. And he used some of them, really. And when he left the company, his gift to me was he not only used a porn movie title from my list. No, he also put me on the actor list on the DVD. And so I'm in an outro on a DVD cover and in some I'm not sure if it's still available, but in some online stores where you can buy DVD porn movies, and that's the reason because they got those ISBN number or something. I don't know what's the name for DVDs.
ISBN number is the same in America, I guess, right?
Yeah.
ISBN is for books, but I think it's also same thing for DVDs and movies and something.
Yeah.
And was really nice when because it's on the same time I got a few job interviews. Yes.
So, and how did you get out of that? How did you get out of that problem?
It was not a problem. It's a funny thing.
It wasn't? The job interviewer was like,
no, not.
Oh, you are pretty open to the world.
It wasn't so. But the last interview was for the UFO, for my the company I'm working now.
Okay. So it's like you're not flying in a plane, you are flying in a UFO. Okay.
I'm not flying anywhere. I'm just sitting in the bureau and make some pixel stuff.
Anyway. Okay.
Anyway, so it was like, okay, Mr. Palic, now we Google your name, and what do you think we saw? I don't know. Some pictures from me, a few selfies, maybe some bands, and maybe me in funny clothing, because I was singing in a disco metal cover band, and yeah, that's it. Okay. I was wondering, so okay, okay, I try. So if you took a look on a 7th or 8th page from Google, maybe you saw some a movie called Stramme Titten, hart geritten, and with an actor called Senad Palic. Yes, it's me. Maybe, and I told him the story from a friend who worked for the company, and it was very funny. They laugh, I laugh, and I got a job.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really important to tell the truth and to be honest, and so if you lie and and you're in the company and one day they find it out, it's not a good base. It's,
at least when I Google it now, I don't see it.
What are you googling?
You said Stramme Titten, hart geritten, Senad Palic.
Yes.
Doesn't show up anything.
Really?
Nope.
Wait. It can't be. I'm to be honest, I'm a little bit proud of it.
maybe they removed it.
Yeah, the movie was about 2010 or something, or 11.
Long ago.
It's for a porn movie. It's a long ago.
True.
Screenshot. I'm sorry. Some penis and.
Ooh.
But you wanted to see. But you wanted to see it.
Yeah.
So, have fun. Maybe you can translate it, Joerg?
Well, Skype is pretty slow for me now.
I like how you're the only only guy in there that actually has a last name. It's always Mark, Robert, Roger, Theo.
Yes. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm a really open-minded guy, but I never want to be in a porn movie. But
too late.
But this thing is really funny. I like it. It's an icebreaker on every party. It's hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm a student, and I'm a porn star. What?
Yeah, it says actor Senad Palic.
And there you got an EAN number, and
EAN number. Okay.
And the funny thing is, there is no regisseur. This is just a question.
It says question mark. Yeah.
Question mark. Yes.
What's the English word
actually
for
the
titten?
title?
Breasts.
Yeah. So actually, it says strong breasts, written hard.
Yeah, hard. Yeah.
Can you please say it in German?
Stramme Titten, hart geritten.
Great. It's for my personal collection.
So we are doing like, hello, I'm Senad Palic, for the next intro, and he is doing Stramme Titten, hart written by H.J. Heller.
Yeah. So we talked about now 20 minutes for about porn movies.
Yes.
What we got on the list next?
It was worth it, though.
Yes.
Any future plans for RetroKram? What's the next?
Okay. Well, here's the question. So, getting back to the bourse, the market. So you're doing it this year, and Roger is doing it next year. Are you going to be like doing alternating years, where you all do it then 2019?
No, not really, because Darmstadt is still a few kilometers away from Mannheim, and I'm not sure if I will do it a second time.
Oh.
It's just like a test this time in Darmstadt, and if the people like it, maybe I will do it next year too.
Oh, okay.
You can have still 2 retro flea markets in the same area in once a year. Or 2 times a year. It's
if you don't get bankrupt after the first one.
No, I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I won't, because as I told you before, we didn't pay anything for the venue. So the only cost we got is the flyer, maybe for gas something when we visiting the venue, and that's it. And our time.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's not really about any risk about it. So we can try. We can make it happen. And we will see. If people like it, why not the second time? And if they don't like it, it was a nice experience. And I met a couple of friends there, drink some beer. Maybe I sell some stuff. Maybe I buy some stuff. And it will will be a nice day for me. And maybe I see Joerg. We can chat a little bit.
Sure,
we can...
sure.
It's like I really hope that will be like met some friends. That's the only reason I visited Retroboursen. Everything. There's not a few things I really wish want to buy. I got everything I want, so.
Right. Yeah,
I only go to Retroboursen for socializing, for networking, for met friends and play some games or something like that.
All you want for Christmas is AJ.
Yes.
A little insider.
I get extra little space on my wall here for a poster from AJ.
The dirty ones.
Yeah.
Yes. Strammer AJ hat geritten.
Trojan horses are nothing. I got AJ on my horse. Yeah.
So, further plans for RetroKram. I don't know. I will make those things I did in the past. I will meet nice people. Will chat with them. Maybe I will record it. Maybe not. I will just. The only thing I really want is to meet people. It's the only reason I make RetroKram. Yes, I really miss Retrobla. It was like a chat with friends, and you sit in a museum with an audience, 10, 15, 20 people. You got a live stream, the people asking questions in the live stream, in the chat. And so it was really funny. Yes, I really liked it and enjoyed it. And now, yes, I miss it. But yes, RetroKram is maybe a new chance for something completely new. It's like a project title for, I don't know.
Well, and that kind of is liberating in a way, because it's not like you have it's not like there's like a template to stick to. Like you have, this kind of show that you normally do, and then you've got this thing that you have to do at a specific time. It's more like a labor of love. It's something that you want to do, and so it can be anything. You can do anything you want.
That sounds so cute, AJ. Thanks. Yeah. Yes, but maybe it's so. We didn't have the template for Retrobla. It was like every time we invented the show a little bit more. I don't know. One day I got my GoPro at the show, and so we put someone from the audience to take those GoPro, and it's like a camera kit.
Camera child.
Yeah. Camera child. We got it was a very old TV show, child show, kid show, where they got some young boy or young girl from the audience. They gave them the camera so he or she can move it through the show and film for itself. And sometimes they put their bootleg stuff in the show. So we did the same live.
Didn't know that. Interesting. Well,
yeah.
So from what I heard is that that you announced that you will leave the show, and then you announced you will take a break from all the retro stuff. And then what I heard is that you changed your mind and said, okay, Joerg got his Scene World, and and Sven got his Retro Hunter, so I need my own stuff. And then you invented RetroKram. That is at least was what people told me.
Okay, maybe it's a little bit truth behind it, because everyone from Retro Blah had his own project. Sven got his Retro Hunter and his cosplay. Sarah got his cosplay. Seb got his stream cafe and his live stream, and everything I got was Retro Blah. Yes, so I put many time and many love and many heart bleed in it for this project. Like the NES cartridge in purple, with together with Simon from the museum. I make a lot of videos with the handhelds. I was filming events. I was on a handheld convention in Cologne. Was driving about 200 kilometers for to film some stuff, and yes, yes.
but the way I got to know you is 2 years ago when AJ and I, when we were doing those live streams from the Frankfurt Film Museum, people actually told me that you were already a pretty known person in the retro scene. At least Gaetano Rizzo told me so. He told me, I got Senad Palic for moderator. He's great because he is a pretty known person in the retro scene, just like Sven Fessing. And my reply was, like, honestly, I've never heard of Senad Palic. Who is this guy?
Nice, or? Yeah, I'm not sure if I was a well-known person in the retro scene. I collect retro stuff for... let me see, I'm 37 years old, maybe 20 years or something. And I buy some stuff, I sell some stuff, I give stuff away, and make a lot of friends. And but I never make any pictures or anything in web or in the social networking on it. It came when I the first time I made some pictures for me from my collection was on Instagram a few years ago, and so I met Gaetano on the Web Montag, Web Monday in Frankfurt. What's the Web Montag? Once a month
of a live show where you present various topics.
Yes. Your ideas, your project, or something. Every time they got a new header, new topic, and so people can present their stuff. And one day he was on the stage and asked. They're searching for a moderator for an event in Frankfurt. It's for the Nacht des nacherzählten Spiels, the evening. It's like a poetry slam for video games, and they needed a moderator. So I asked him what should this moderator can do. Okay, he must hold a microphone. Okay, I can do it. So I was on this evening. So I met Gaetano. I met Sebastian Greiner, and a few days later, Sebastian and Gaetano called me because they were making a show for the museum, for the movie museum, film museum, Frankfurt, and they would make a show with handhelds. And I told Gaetano, okay, I got handhelds. So what can we do? Okay, if you want to grab those video signals from the handheld, maybe the best handheld for this is a Sega Nomad. So I can bring it to the show. So, and then I came to the evening to the show, and it was the first time I saw Sven Fessing. And we didn't meet each other before. We didn't know what to do. We just sitting there and talked, and we improvised the complete show. And it was planned for It was only planned one show, yes. And then after the show, I think Gaetano asked us if we want to make a second stream. Okay, yes, but we need now a name for it, or maybe something like that. And okay, so we go home, and this evening I got this idea for Retro Blah. It's because it's retro stuff. And blah is because we make blah before on the show. We didn't have any plans. We just improvised some complete show. So it was Retro Blah, and the name was born. I make a logo, I make a website, and a few days later we got the second show with a new logo, with an intro, with Zip got new lamps, and the second show was better than the first one, and
it became a regular thing.
Yes, it was really funny, really. And one day we got Sven Fössing got the idea that we can go to the Flip and Arcade Museum to Seligenstadt, and yeah, that's the studio now.
And this is how all the pieces come together.
Yes.
Both agree at the same time. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Best interview ever. Everybody agrees with me. That was an easy task.
Thanks, and thanks to Retroblah, I'm now the press guy from the museum. Yeah. That's also great. I love it. Make the website, promote the museum and the club at Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, it's funny. I like it.
Yeah, people were asking me, like, what's your opinion about Senad? Like, well, he is pretty good.
They ask you about me?
Yeah. They asked me about my opinion about you. I was like, well, yeah, he would be good for the job. So,
I don't know. He was in porn.
I didn't know that at that time. Yeah.
I didn't have to mention it. Okay. Yeah, but I like the story. I like the porn story. It's one of my favorite stories from Senad, from the book Senad.
Yes.
It's interesting because normally we ask first people about their history, and now we did it the totally opposite around.
You just told me my story.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because you know I'm not a big fan of hearing how things were from other people. I like to hear it from the person himself.
Yes. It's the best way.
Yeah.
And now we are even famous internationally.
Oh my God! Please, anyone who hear this, if you wrote me an email, please write it in German or Serbo-Croatian. That's much better than my English.
So where can people go to find out what you're doing with the bourse and with RetroKram and all that stuff?
They can visit my website on retro.wtf or retro.wtf.
Okay.
Retro.wtf.
Very cool. We will link to
really
this.
Short and everyone can remember it. Retro.wtf. Retro.wtf. I like it.
Yeah.
It sounds really good. It's maybe the best invention or maybe the best idea I got for an URL. I really love it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we will link to this in the podcast description so everyone can go there and check things out.
Yeah. Thanks. And what's the funny thing? Also, I got emails from friends of mine who told me, okay, Senad, I don't have the time for an own blog or an own website or something. Can I write something for you? Yeah, sure, you can. So Roger wrote some stuff, and a few days ago, Björn from the museum also wrote some stuff, and he will do it. For I don't know what, but he's writing a new blog article from the website. So it's nice. It's really nice because I like the idea to have a blog when I can write stuff, but I didn't have to. It's no pressure. It's no stress. I'm only writing stuff if I want to.
I got my people.
Yeah. You are like the king, and you got your slaves and your puppeteer, your puppets like around you, and you're a puppet master. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is why we do Scene World for 17 years, because I like to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, but it's really nice. It's nice from the people that they wrote me. Okay, Senad, I have a few ideas for a blog, but I didn't have the time. Can I write some articles for you, 1 or 2 or maybe 3, but no more? Yeah, sure. Why not? Huh? I have the space. You have the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something together. And yeah, it's good.
Sooner or later, your homepage will be retro news page number 1 in Germany.
No. There's so good websites, so great people out there. I'm not trying to compete those peoples. Some of them I really know well. Some of them I didn't know his names, but I didn't want to make a website who's already there, like Retro Indie News or something. Right. It's a real nice website. I like to visit every day to see what's happening in Amiga scene or in indie games or something. And I do use Twitter a lot. And I follow a few websites like or blogs or magazines like Low Tech magazine, and so I get all those information I like to have. And I didn't see it. I didn't have the time to put all those informations I found to a new website because the information is still there. You just have to. If you got Twitter, for example, and you do follow some Newsmax, you got your informations. You don't have to put those informations to another website, like to collect news from other websites to make your own news site. So I not really into making news. I'm more like. Chat with people and like you, AJ, have the strange questions or the strange ideas. Why he's now making this thing, or how did this work? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. I don't got the idea now. But like I got here an old Casio guitar. It's a digital guitar with a MIDI port. It's a digital a plastic digital guitar with a MIDI port out, and I got here an I got here an MIDI flashcard interface from Frank Bus for the Commodore 64.
Yes, we use it too at Gamescom. Yeah.
Yes. You do. And I use it for the guitar, so I can play the SID chip with the guitar. And it sounds really, really nice. And I will make a video about it because those things are more interesting to me than the 20th Let's Play from Mario Kart 7 or something.
Right, yeah.
Actually, talking about that, earlier this year, I spoke to John Schoening, who actually found or invented FM synthesis. Mm-hmm. So we were actually talking about those keyboards and about MIDI and about artificial instruments and all that.
Yes, you can do a lot with old computers and MIDIs and something. A friend of mine who's now a famous German DJ, Dominik Eulberg, he make his music with an Atari a few years ago with an Atari STs. About 10, 12 years ago. So, and he samples birds and nature sounds and put it into electro dance music. And he's now famous in this scene and make some remixes for Madonna and I don't know. So yeah, you can still use an old computer, make sounds and music with it, like Martin. Martin is making now pro tracking sounds with his Amiga 1200, and Jörg, you will be there on the 16th on a blog event, and he will be there with his both Amigas 1200s, and we'll be DJing there with 2 Amigas.
Didn't know that. Now I do.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
That's the things I like about my hobbies. To meet people, to learn something new, to make some new ideas, to organize events like the blogging event now for the museum, and one month later the RetroKram retro flea market, and like that. And that's the reason I have no time for making videos or something like that. I'm
too sad. Too sad.
Yeah, I'm still want to interview you, Joerg, in German. But
still waiting for your visit.
Yes, I know. I know. And I told you it's for me really make it's really hard for me to make a fix jour fix or a fixed date, because every time I'm sitting here and I got a tons of projects I have to make. I'm now making the front cover or not only front cover, the complete magazine for the Digital Talk magazine, the 100th issue. And it's an honor for me to make the design for it, and that's the reason I'm sitting sometimes here 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the morning, and did some pixel stuff, and go late to bed. Every day I'm tired. Yeah, you know it.
After Gamescom.
Oh, Gamescom would be so great. I love it. Maybe we make music with Hans Heiskor.
Maybe. I'm not doing music.
I know, but you can sit in the audience and clap your hands.
Yeah,
I can fart.
Give him a tambourine. There you go.
Or I'm a triangle. The triangle.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, totally. Give him the triangle. You can just sit there. Bing.
It will be great. Martin on the right side, you on the left side,
or the cowbell. That's Joerg's instrument right there. The cowbell.
Cowbell.
Yeah.
Cowbell sounds so great to every music.
Yes.
From a chocolate bunny.
No, not those cowbells. The cowbells from the drums.
I know.
Funk, 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 funk. Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
To every music. Metal, electro, techno, hard rock.
Needs more cowbell.
Always on the one. Tonk. Tonk.
Interesting.
Yes. It was really funny last year on the Gamescom to play with Martin and my brother and Tommy. Was his name Tommy? From Hans Heiskor. The really interesting thing is we all 4 who were on the stage came from former Yugoslavia. Martin on the accordion, on the harmonica, my brother on the synthesizer, Tommy on the other synthesizers, and I'm on the drum computer. Was cool.
Yeah, we actually have a video on YouTube.
I know. Yeah. So this was really improvised. This was really, we didn't have to know what have to play. And Tommy, I don't know what's the name, Matthias, I think, or
Matthias,
the other guy from Hans Heiskor. He wasn't there, but Hans Heiskor have to perform, I think, 20 minutes on the stage. And he asked me if I can do drum computing for him or play on the drum computer some rhythms. Yes, I can. And my brother also was there, and Tommy asked him if he can do the bass line on the synthesizer. Okay, and a few minutes later came Martin with his accordion. And so we played with 4 guys, Billie Jean, on the Gamescom stage, on the retro stage. 20 minutes, 1 song. and those stuff. That's the reason I love it to be on Gamescom, because you can do those things with other people. You've met guys. This was the first time I saw Martin. We know each other from Twitter before. And since then we talked a lot and Skyped a lot, and we make also this Retrobla song where you guys did your performance dance. It was really funny.
You do it for the gasoline.
Yeah.
Yes, and the appreciation, I think.
Yes. Right. That was funny. So I'm looking forward to this year's Gamescom.
Yes, and AJ too.
Who buys him the plane ticket?
You can sell your body. You're sexy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Shirtless.
Why don't you make a home Scene World calendar?
I've been talking about that.
You know, with this guy with his posing six-pack guys.
And on the front cover, we got some girls.
And you open it up and horribly disappointed. Now Joerg's got to be like the December one, so he's laying on like the white fur rug with like totally nude except for like a Christmas present blocking his junk.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'm down.
If you need if you need a photographer, I'm your guy.
I know.
I can do Photoshop.
Nice. Wow, that's a lot of talking.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
a little bit rubberish, but I like it.
Yeah, those are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, so guys, I'm really thank you for inviting me in your show. I hope it's not too much to cut. You had too much work with the cutting because of the something like that. Nah, and don't make it too long, please.
I'll try. I'll
Right.
do my best.
Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, it's
Really?
no problem. I'm sitting here talking with you guys. It was nice. Thank you.
We do this regularly, maybe. Do a new thing so we can invite you again.
I will improve my English so I can next time talk better with you guys.
Sure. Okay.
So I will see Joerg at the Gamescom,
Right.
and AJ, I will see you on Twitter and Instagram, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Or he will call you weekly, like we said.
Yes. But first, send some nudes. Thank you.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
Thank you for inviting me for your
Thanks,
awesome, sexy podcast. I'm
It was
I'm-
AJ's idea to make the podcast, not mine.
what? I didn't hear it. What?
I mean, AJ invented the podcast.
Oh, AJ invented the podcast. Awesome,
I didn't
AJ.
invent podcasts. I just
Oh, not
just this
Oh,
one.
no, I'm disappointed. Oh, and I'll see and hear you. I hope soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Here we go. Senad Palic.
So that was Senad Palic. You can find him at retro.wtf. Again, that's retro.wtf. And that's where you can find out everything about RetroKram and about the Retrobourse that'll be happening. Us, you know where to find us. It's sceneworld.org. And links to everything we've talked about will be in the podcast description. So if you're on the podcast page, you can find everything that we talked about and easily get to it. Until next time, I'm AJ, and he's Joerg. See ya.